The flames, dark smoke filled the sky in the Metro East this afternoon. This is the aftermath of a train derailment that forced schools and homeowners to evacuate in Dupo.
Now we want to show you a more recent view from Powerhouse Sky Zoom 4. Emergency responders say the fire is under control and the evacuation order has now been lifted, but a charred mess has been left behind. Thanks for joining us. I'm Courtney Bryant.
And I'm Claire Kellett. We want to show you exactly where this happened. It's in the train yard in Dupo. As you see, that's just about 10 miles southeast from downtown St. Louis.
News 4 has team coverage on the story right now. Our crew's finding out what was burning in those trains and talking to those impacted. We want to start first with Russell Kinsall, who has been on the scene all afternoon.
Well, right now I'm standing near the entrance to the rail yard here, the Union Pacific rail yard. Pretty obvious things are not back to normal. However, the fire is out and the danger is over. But let me walk you over this way. It may not look impressive now, but the fire and the derailment just beyond those blue dumpsters, you see those red arms sticking up. That's where they're moving the damaged rail cars around. The derailment and the fire was on the other side of that berm where you see those red arms for those types of machinery. They're working on the derailment right now. So let me tell you about what happened earlier. About 12:45, as the train was starting to leave the rail yard, it derailed. A witness told me that she saw 15 to 17 cars on fire before she had to leave because of the heat. The flammable solvent that spilled out and caught fire was used in making paints and lacquers. At one point, there were two distinct fires sending smoke so high it could be seen 20 to 30 miles away. A man working nearby described what the derailment sounded like.
It sounded like it jumped off or something. At first, like it was loud, like you could hear the brakes, and then it just all boom, boom, boom after that, and then fireball.
Firefighters came from all over the region to help fight the fires, including the hazmat team from St. Clair County and another from an ethanol plant in Wood River. The fire at the site of the derailment was the most difficult to put out. The situation caused a lot of concern for those who live in a neighborhood right across the street from the railroad yard.
Well, it's that chemical hazard, plus that burning ashes, that black smoke, you know.
It's got you concerned.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting on my wife right now to get here. She's gonna come pick me up.
Right now you can see those red arms are lifting a damaged rail car up and off of the tracks over there. That's what you're seeing up over that grass berm. Now that the fire is out here, the focus is on getting those railroad lines, the rail lines, cleared from the debris, and also trying to discover what caused the derailment and fire to begin with. Live in Dupo, Russell Kinsall, News 4.
The smoke from this fire could be seen for miles in all directions. What you see here is a time-lapse video from the camera on top of our building here in downtown St. Louis. In the areas surrounding Dupo, as we've mentioned, an evacuation order has been lifted. Our Ray Preston is there. He spoke with residents, relieved, Ray, to be able to go back home.
Well, right now we are about 2 miles north of where the train cars derailed and caught fire. This is the Stony Brook Mobile Home Park. You know, several residents from here went to the East Carondelet Community Center, which had been turned temporarily into an evacuation center. Then, just before 4 o'clock this afternoon, emergency management officials arrived at the center. They went inside, told the residents the evacuation order had been lifted. They could now go back to their homes. You know, we talked with some of the evacuees who said that they weren't even home, though, when the fire first broke out.
My husband was on his way home from work, too, and we were all kind of going in circles trying to find each other because everywhere was blocked off. And
Pretty unsettling.
Yes, it was very nerve-wracking, and I was very scared that my home was going to be gone when I got here because, like I said, it was in the field right behind my house.
I was on my way home from work, and I saw all the smoke, and I kept following it. And then whenever they wouldn't let me turn off of Route 3, I knew that was blocked, so I had to stay on the highway and just go to the end of town, which I did. And I got off and came towards Depot, and then I had to go down the side streets because the cops pretty much had everything blocked off.
You know, that is one common theme that you hear from evacuees when you talk to them. They said there's that initial time at the very beginning when they're trying to get a hold of loved ones and they can't reach them for one reason or another, and they just tell you that that can be extremely unnerving. But again, no injuries reported. Everyone is safe. Reporting live from Dupo, Ray Preston, News 4.
All right, Ray, we saw firefighters spraying some type of foam onto the train cars in an effort to put out the flames. News 4 has been asking what exactly was burning all afternoon. Investigative reporter Chris Negus is live in our control room to tell us about any possible health impacts. Chris?
Well, Courtney, it can definitely be irritating if you breathe this stuff in. Union Pacific told us the flammable chemical is methyl isobutyl ketone. Now, according to the EPA, it can cause headaches, eye irritation, vomiting, even dizziness. We have seen the video of this stuff burning all afternoon long. Keep in mind, this product is used in paints, varnishes, and lacquers, so it's in common products that people widely use. I did speak with St. Louis Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson. They had a deputy chief on scene. He told me the thick black smoke was caused by burning rubber, and that can also be irritating to breathe in. So he advised anyone in that immediate area around that burn site to stay indoors. Now, we checked, and Union Pacific has dealt with recent train derailments here in Missouri. In July, 70 cars derailed in Mercer County. That is north of Kansas City. In that case, there were no hazardous materials involved with the derailment. In April of this year, a UP train derailment sent 25 cars off the track. That was in Fort Worth, Texas. In that case, ethanol intended for motor fuel use was released. Approximately 10 homes were evacuated. Nobody was hurt, but unfortunately, 3 horses were killed in that incident. The company also had another issue with a train carrying ethanol in the state of Iowa. This was back in 2017. 20 loaded tank cars derailed, causing a fire. Only 3 homes were evacuated in that case. Nobody was injured. In that case, the NTSB determined a broken rail was the most likely culprit, resulting from inadequate track maintenance. Again, the fire in Dupo is out, but News 4 is still working to determine if there are any long-term impacts or concerns because of today's fire. As we get more information, of course, we will let you know. Live in the control room, Chris Negus, News 4.
Fighting a fire like this is difficult enough, but firefighters were also working to beat the heat. Today, much of the area under a heat advisory. The Red Cross was on hand to make sure firefighters stayed hydrated this afternoon.
They got their bunker gear on, they're out there, their adrenaline is flowing. You've got this massive fire from all the videos that you saw, and then the unknown.
News 4 will bring you all the details on this story as it develops here on News 4, as well as on KMOV.com and through the KMOV News app. The app is free in your phone's app store.